Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the collective for January 22nd, 2020. So it's a reading for all signs. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I'm also going to ask that you guys give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment and share, ring the notification bell if you guys want to get messages when I upload anything new. And let's go ahead and get started. We're going to ask our angels, our ancestors, our loved ones who have passed, our spirit guides and spirit, what messages does the collective need to hear for January 22nd, 2020? What messages do we have for the collective January 22nd, 2020? Ooh, there we go. The Ace of Swords popped out. Messages for the collective, January 22nd, 2020. I love the Ace of Swords. It's also, it also tells me that Archangel Michael may be here with us, or working, or some of you might be working with Archangel Michael to get some clarity. Okay, I think we're going to stop shuffling there. Really nice cards. Wow, 2 aces. You're starting and finishing with an ace. This is beautiful, you guys, because this is all about new beginnings. All right, let's go ahead and take a look what we have at the bottom of the deck, the overall energy. Here we have the 8 of Swords. This is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy, and this is all about you standing in your own way. You allowing your thoughts to take over, you thinking worst case scenario, you focusing on the negative, not on the positive things, maybe even missing blessings because of this. So for those of you who are working with law of attraction, remember that, you know, if we focus on the positive things in life, the negative things will drop away. But this is the opposite energy here, okay? And this woman, she's blindfolded. She's also standing in this puddle, which is like lots of emotions, and her emotions are just kind of scattered and all over the place. And, you know, but she's really not in as bad of a situation as she's imagining, that it's more in her head. Okay, underneath that we have another 8. So we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, which is all about mastery, which is all about something that's taken a long time to develop. It is in the reverse, so it sends me back to that 7 of Pentacles, which can be a little bit of frustration, a little bit of delays, but it can also just mean this has been something that you've been investing a lot of hard work and time in, and you might be feeling a little bit frustrated. So pay attention to what you guys are thinking, what you guys are continuously saying to yourselves. Okay, what is it that your focus is on? Is it on the negative or is it on the positive? Because this card is telling me it's on the negative things, and that's really, really causing you guys to stay trapped in fear or in this stagnant energy, cold, frightened, you know, maybe sitting there with soggy feet, you know, like it's just not a nice energy, but it's you standing in your own way. And it may be something that you've been doing for a long time. And I don't mean to, this isn't an accusatory tone, but we all do this. Really, really focus on what is your point of focus. What are the things you talk about? You know, I one time I was talking to my mother about this because we were somewhere and everything that was coming out of her mouth was, oh, that's scary. Ooh, that's frightening. Ooh, I don't like that. Ooh, I don't want to do that. And it was like, okay, listen to the language that you're using. And this may be happening for some of you guys as well. The language that you're using, is it fear-based or are you open? Can you reframe what you're thinking or what you're saying to be more positive? Okay, because it looks like it may have been years or lifetimes of creating these neural pathways. Maybe saying, you know, deep down that we don't feel worthy of something, or we're scared of being hurt again, or things like that, okay? But underneath there, we look like you guys are working through this and you're gonna have some sort of victory, all right? So again, the overall energy was this 8 of Swords energy, but it looks like you guys are leaving that. You're starting to recognize where you guys have been trapped, where you guys have trapped yourselves. Because, and even for myself as well, you know, it's a lesson. Somebody was saying the minute you feel or you think you're trapped or you say you're trapped, that's when you are. But most of the time you really are not, okay? So it looks like you guys are gonna have some sort of victory. I've got Pisces energy here with the Hanged Man, which is about seeing things differently, taking a new perspective. Again, this could be on your spiritual journey. It could be within a relationship. It could be with your finances, but I love this Hanged Man energy because this is all about getting a new perspective, pulling back. saying, you know what, maybe I am going to reframe those thoughts. Maybe I am going to reframe, how I talk about things, or how just a huge shift in the way that I'm seeing things, understanding that things don't happen to me, okay, that I'm an agent, okay, of change within my own life, but I'm also the doer in my own life. I am the person, I am where I am because of my thoughts and because of my actions. Obviously, there are certain things we cannot control, but we can control how we react to what happens to us. And here we have justice. There may have been something that was really unfair, or you may have been dealing with a Libra energy. Something really unfair that happened to you, or you feel like it was really unfair, and that might also have you trapped. But Spirit says, let's work through this. Let's reframe it as a learning experience, and let's, take the bull by the horns, and let's get on with it, because you guys have some really special cards that popped out. We have the Ace of Swords. Again, that's Archangel Michael energy. It could be an aha moment. It could be a new direction that you guys are moving in. It could also be, it could also be that you guys are receiving, spiritual downloads and insights. You guys are starting to get messages, your intuition. I feel like some of you, the hair on the back of your neck has stood up recently, or you've been getting goosebumps, or you guys have been getting deja vu, or you guys have been really just getting messages from the divine and using your intuition. Also, the Ace of Swords could be some sort of communication. Okay, so you might have also received some sort of message. But again, I feel like more than anything, that message is from the divine. Okay, and the next card out is Gemini. So we do have a lot of air in this reading. But this Gemini, this lover's energy, again, if it's about a relationship, it's like this new direction that you're moving in. Some of you might be moving towards a soulmate or some sort of connection. It doesn't always have to be romantic, but it very well could be. Okay, and it looks like this is a very divinely ordained, this is a blessed union. This is something or someone that you were meant to be with, you were meant to know, you were meant to sort of make a new, I feel like you've also made this big decision to move in this direction. And it's going to bring you a lot of balance. Okay, this doesn't necessarily have to be another person. It could be the union between your masculine and your feminine side. Now remember, we all have masculine and we all have feminine energies. Okay, so it could be you just finally finding that balance and finding that sweet spot where, wow, everything is new. I'm moving in the right direction. My thoughts are aligned with my heart and my soul, and I feel good. And remember, when you feel happy or your soul is smiling, you're moving in the right direction. Now, we do have some Scorpio energy coming out here with the Death card, and the Death card in reverse does tell me that there is a little bit of resistance to this change, okay? And we may be seeing that also here with that Eight of Swords energy, okay? Because it may be something that, the Eight of Pentacles is something that's happened over a long period of time, something that we've ingrained in ourselves, something that we've created years and years and years, these neural pathways of telling ourselves maybe we're not worthy, or maybe to be slightly afraid of experiencing successes, that it's going to be taken away from us, or anything like that. And there is some sort of resistance to this change, to this decision, but I feel like the decision has already been made, and you've sort of already nudged that boulder off that cliff, and it started to fall, and there's not much you can do about it. And so Spirit says, you know what, let's turn this Death card around. Bring it on, okay? This is change. We need change for evolution. If not, we're stagnant. And then it finishes with this Ace of Wands, but don't be afraid, because look, this reading is flanked, whether this is a union, whether this is a new direction in work or school or your career or your health routine or whatever it might be, you're flanked by aces. This is clear thinking. This is an aha moment. Again, Archangel Michael. And this Ace of Wands is like a huge green light from the universe. This is your passion. This is your passion ignited. This is your power. This is all saying yes, yes, yes. These two aces, huge, huge in your reading, you guys. New directions, making choices. Yes, there might be a little bit of resistance, but I feel like that resistance comes from within. And once you recognize that, you guys can clear that. So let's go ahead and pull additional messages for the collective for January 22nd, 2020. Yeah, positive movement forward. We have another 8 So we have 3 8s that have come out in this reading. Beautiful, because 8s are about movement, about change, about manifestation, about abundance. And whatever step that you took, whether it's in a relationship, but whatever this major decision that you're making or you're about to take, okay, is, it's a positive step forward. Suffering in silence. Again, we have the 9 of Swords coming out. The 9 of Swords, though, is really interesting because it's slightly different than the 8 of Swords. The 9 of Swords is kind of like having, it's like with those sleepless nights cards, but it's really interesting. And one of my decks, again, this is speaking to me a lot about Archangel Michael, because there's one, and it's the After Tarot that I use. There's, somebody fighting a dragon in their sleep. And it's sort of like, the downloads that you guys are getting in your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to the messages that you're getting from your angels and your spirit guides and the signs and the synchronicities. And I feel like for some of you, it is a little bit frightening. And I do feel like, again, you're worried about losing something, or you're worried about this journey. But Spirit is saying, don't worry. You're flanked by these aces. You're flanked by energy that is supporting you, even if you might be a little bit afraid and you might feel a little bit alone. And that's where we're getting this sort of resistance here with that Death card, that, you are sad and it's hard. You can't take everyone and everything with you when you guys are moving forward or spiritually ascending, even if we might really want to. Okay, so again, it may not always be easy, but the message here is get out of your own way. Everything is going to be just fine. And then we have number 5, we have conflict and defeat. Really interesting. I'm going to pull a clarifying card for this conflict and defeat energy, because that's not what I'm seeing in this reading at all. With the Death card in reverse, I feel like some of you might be really afraid of losing something. You might be afraid of confrontation. Again, when we look at that 8 of Swords energy, she doesn't want to take the blindfold off, even though she can. She doesn't want to see where she is. She doesn't want to face, maybe her demons, or face, the facts of where she is, where she has put herself. Okay, so just a clarifying card, please, for the conflict and defeat. Wow. There we go. We have 5 and we have it doubling to a 10. The Sun card, light. Spirit saying, don't worry. I feel like this conflict and defeat card is all about, you guys really being worried about that conflict. You guys I feel like you don't want to upset the status quo, but you know that you have to. And it's the right thing for you to do. And it does, it is a little bit frightening. But Spirit says, with the light card, this is all about hope. This is the happiness. This is joy. This is creating. This is co-creating with Spirit. It's also telling me you're not alone. Okay, so don't worry, don't anything. And if it's something that you've put a lot of time and energy into, and you kind of feel like, man, I don't want to turn my back on it because I've spent years with this person or building this relationship or what have you. Oh, look at that. Also, this is so beautiful. We have 8, we have 9, and then we have 19 breaking down to a 10, right? So 8, 9, and 10, you guys are on the right path. This is all about your spiritual evolution and your spiritual growth. You need to move forward. Again, these 2 aces are saying go, new direction, new you, okay, everything. 46 breaks down to a 10, Peacock Spirit, let it shine. Yep, this is you. You guys have to do this. You guys have a light. You guys have this within you. You know what you have to do. Don't stand in your own way. Okay, don't be stagnant. Don't stay trapped in fear, you guys, because there's something very, very beautiful coming to you. All right, no matter how frightening it might be, open to infinite possibility, starfish spirit. 5 and 9 breaks down to a 14. 1 and 4 is 5. So we do have a lot of conflict. We have movement. We have change. All right. And we also have fluctuation. So you guys, there are definitely some major, huge energy shifts that are going on right now in the cosmos. And I think a lot of us have been feeling that with the, full moon, lunar eclipse in Cancer. We also had the 111 portal, and so there's a lot of big major changes going on. But Spirit's saying you've got to be in the flow. There's so many possibilities. Be open to the infinite possibility. And I feel like I even said that earlier in this reading. I think I used those exact words. Interesting. Okay. Final message for the collective, January 22nd, 2019. Final message for the collective, January 22nd, 2019. Mother Earth, you are called upon to help with environmentalism. Now, for some of you, this for me is very reminiscent of the World card. Again, that's the completion of a cycle. Then you start off again as the Fool, starting something completely new. Now, also when we talk about the environment, for me, it's really important to make sure that you guys are very aware of your environment. The environment that you're creating for yourselves, the emotional and spiritual environment that you have within. How are you talking to yourself? What kind of language are you using? Especially when you're talking to yourself. Are you saying negative things or are you focusing more on the positive? Just do me a favor today and tomorrow. Check yourself with the words that you guys are using. Remember swords, if we take the S off, it's words, right? So make sure just check yourself the words that you're using when you're talking to yourself and the topics that you choose to talk about. Are they positive or are they negative? Where is your vibration in regards to that? And you're going to see there's going to be some sort of energy shift there as well. But also, if you are in a toxic environment, because she also feels that Eight of Swords energy as if she's been kidnapped, and she might not know how easy it is to pull the blindfold off, or she might be too afraid. And so some of you might be feeling nervous, you might be feeling exhausted, and you have to check also, is that your work environment? Is that your home environment? Is that the environment within your relationship? Because know that you don't have to stay in that type of energy. So sort of do a scan, check and see what your own personal environment, internal and external, how that's affecting you and your emotions. But excuse me, you guys, there are absolutely gorgeous things coming to you. Flanked by aces, you're resisting a little bit. But you've got the Lovers card, you've got the Sun card. You guys are moving forward. It's absolutely gorgeous, okay? I love you guys so much. Spirit does want me to go back to this really quickly. Because in my meditation before this reading, you are called upon to help with environmentalism. I was really going over the importance of nourishment and not only what you're feeding yourself, but also when we feel an imbalance, when we feel sad, depressed, scared, whatever it might be, go outside, whether that's just going for a short walk, if you guys can get to the beach, go past a river, be near trees, any sort of nature. Nature has a huge balancing effect. Okay, so make sure that if you guys are feeling out of sorts, especially with all these heavy energies, going outside is going to be really important. All right, I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment and share, and ring that notification bell. And I just want to thank you guys for listening, and I love you so much.